It's up close and personal with Killer Crocs brand new at 9. Now, Jeremy Vine.
Everyone! Everybody! Merry weekend!
Today, is it time to admit Brexit was a mistake? Do we need to make private schools pay VAT? And should Prince Harry be given a royal role to help out while King Charles recovers? With me, Jeremy Vine. Welcome to the show. It is the 19th of February, and we're joined by none other than podcast host Gemma Forte and the leader of Reform UK, Richard Tice. And this is what's on the show. First up, is it time to admit Brexit was a mistake? That's a good subject for these two. Former Deputy Prime Minister Lord Heseltine has said leaving the EU was an act of self-annihilation. Critics link it to causing a recession, and now Rishi Sunak has been accused of squandering any Brexit benefits. So is it time to admit it was all a mistake? Give us a call.
Won't be long, darling. I'll be ready to go, okay?
Be made to pay VAT.
Saturday, my goodbye to you. Birthday on Friday.
At the next general election, they say the revenue made will be used to invest in the state system. But is it unfair to impose the cost onto families who work hard to send their children to a private school? Again, we'd love your thoughts on that. Then should Prince Harry be given a role to help the royal family while the King recovers? The Duke believes his father's cancer diagnosis could help, he says, reunify the family after he flew to the UK to see King Charles. Palace aides have reportedly told journalists that there is 0% chance that Harry could return as a working royal. Should he be offered a role, though? After that, we take a look at some of the stories in the papers and online, including what happened at last night's BAFTAs. At 11:15, Matt Allwright sits in for Storm. He'll be here with Marvin Harrison and Lynn May. 12:45, Georgie Barrett covers for Alexis. She'll
We know, man, that's for Alexis or Georgie for Alexis
be
before.
revealing how you can improve your credit score. Let me show you how you get in touch. Really easy. I think the Don can tell us the number here. Go on, sir. What is it? 0207 2222. Is he going to be the next president? 16p from a landline. And, in Donald's hair is a mobile phone. So it may be dearer if you call us by mobile. That just reminds me to say that. Anything else? Don't forget the social media. So here it is. Insta, the Facebook, TikTok, Twitter now known as X, Threads, and the other thing is YouTube. We've got a YouTube channel. If you type Jeremy Vine on 5, when you're on YouTube, you will find our special channel and all our greatest hits there. Okay, so welcome both. Richard, you joined us after, I suppose, a great weekend for the Reform Party, right?
Yes, it has been a pretty busy weekend after the by-elections. On Thursday, we had our two best ever results by a considerable margin. We had 10.4% in Kingswood, East Bristol, and then 13% Ben Habib in Wellingborough. So yeah, we're delighted, and then the press has obviously reported that throughout the weekend. And this is a significant moment for us. And I describe it as essentially it's our coming of age, because people were criticising us, saying that we hadn't achieved in by-elections our national polling scores. Well, these were actually sort of bang on the range of our polling, between 10 and 13%, and it confirms that we are now, without question, the third largest political force in the United Kingdom. We're standing across the whole of England, Scotland, Wales, the general election, and we're going to shape and influence and have a real impact on it.
I was going to say, you missed out the SNP there, but maybe you are across the UK.
In terms of polling,
Oh, I see.
we're now polling the third largest, way ahead of the Lib Dems, who seem to have said they lost both their deposits in these elections. So yeah, we're a significant.
What do you think, Gemma? Are you pleased to see a breakthrough here?
Well, I don't mind you being a thorn in the side of the Tories. But I think the Lib Dems didn't really try very hard in either of these seats. So I wonder whether they're going to concentrate on their efforts, because they have seen some huge swings in other by-elections. But I do agree on these particular seats, don't know what they were doing. It's interesting, in 2015, UKIP in Wellingborough got 9,868. So this time around got 3,919. But yeah, I mean, definitely you sort of have had an impact. But
Did you see the reports at the weekend, Gemma, of Sunak, apparently the Prime Minister, reaching out secretly to Richard Tice here to
what,
say...
is that happening?
So,
Definitely not. I've made very clear, save yourself the phone call, because we're not interested.
Well, the thing is, if you did do a pact, you would be going, get Sunak out. So he's not going to do that, is he?
But he wants that 10%. That's the thing.
But this is the thing. So, okay, it's 10%, but you've got swathes of people who are completely disillusioned, and there's a lot of people that didn't turn up at all, right? They've got to the point they don't believe anything.
always lower in by-elections, but it is really sad, as you say, when you hear people say, I'm done with politics, it's horrendous, nothing makes any difference, and we're saying, actually, yes, the country's in crisis, we're putting forward serious alternative solutions, and we're putting forward a full policy platform, what we call election contract, this Saturday, something to look out for.
But also, Labour did do really well.
Yes.
Like, that's undeniable. Because you had the Tories doing the most amazing interviews afterwards going, well, we didn't win because... And you just think, oh, shut up.
Yeah. In fairness, credit to them, I actually popped my head into the Labour campaign office in Wellingborough just to say hi with a big smile on my face. And this was the best campaign I've seen them run. They were very well organised.
Right.
And the Labour candidate was very dignified after, actually, being asked about yourself, being asked about the Conservatives. It was quite nice to see some polite rhetoric after a by-election.
To give our audience a bit of history about the party, it was originally set up, correct me if I'm wrong, Richard, as the Brexit Party, led by Nigel Farage. And obviously, it's kind of traditional. Every time we come in, we ask you the same question, which is whether you foresee him coming back as proper leader before the general election.
Yeah, and it's a good question. He's thinking about what role he does or doesn't want to play, and he'll work that. It's a massive decision for him. He hopes that he's sort of left frontline politics. But my view is it's a massive job, what's required. The more help he can give, the better. But let's wait and see. But at the meantime, we're making great progress. More and more people are hearing about us.
And you wouldn't mind handing over your job to him?
We're not obsessed with titles, Jeremy. We're obsessed with actually trying to save Britain, action, getting stuff done, and putting forward a completely different range of solutions to the crisis the country finds out.
Why are you formed as a private, limited company and not a political party like the Greens and the Lib Dems and everybody else?
We are a political party. We just happen to be a not-for-profit company. That's just the way we're structured. It's irrelevant to the policies we put out there. It's irrelevant to voters. No one asked me on the door about that. What they asked me, what are your policies? Can you make a difference? Can you win? Those are the key things that people are.
You see, I worry about it being a business because you've got people like Ben Habib who obviously stood for you, but like he is on record having talked about the volatility of the market post-Brexit and how he capitalised on that and made money. And you see, then I instantly question somebody's integrity about why they're in politics.
Relax. Absolutely. What we need is need more successful people coming into the world.
Police the country.
No, the opposite. Actually, poach a turn gamekeeper. You want successful people coming in saying, we've got serious crises. These are some of the solutions to get the country back on track. I think that's a really good...
I think disaster capitalist in politics is incredibly shady and exactly what we don't need. And I think there's a massive conflict of interest there.
Do you want less successful people to get involved in running the country?
Successful? What's your definition of success? If it's multi-millionaires who are betting against the British pound, I don't think that's good for British politics.
If you've got a track record of building thousands of homes, employing tens of thousands of people, attracting hundreds of millions of investments into this country, and then saying, actually, I've got solutions as to how we can solve the housing crisis, how we can get the economy growing.
That's not what I was just talking about.
Well, but the inference is the same. We're all successful people who are saying now is the time to step up and help save this country from the crisis that we find ourselves in and the existential threat. We're heading down the plug hole under the current rate.
Okay, well, let's see. I mean, he may well play a big part in the next election because the Conservatives are in trouble, there's no question. We need to focus on Brexit because we've got we know your view, we know both your views on this, right? Gemma thinks it's an utter failure and would always have been that. You're presumably saying, it could have been done much better and we can still pull it out the fire. Let's see. We'll talk about Brexit in a second. People are saying it's led to a recession. Lord Heseltine has called it national self-annihilation. What do you reckon? Give us a call now. We'll hear their debate in a moment. 0207 862 2222 is the number you need. First time in 20 years